All right, we should be up and running. Welcome everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy daylight saving time to all who observe it. And by happy, I mean not so happy. I am really feeling the loss of that hour last night, especially since I think I stayed up a little bit later than I normally do. But I'm caffeinated and I'm ready because today I really have my fingers crossed that today we're going to finish Fire Red completely. That might be a tall order, and that might also not be accounting for a lot of the breeding that we have to do with some of the Pokemon to get them in Pokeballs, but I think at least for the captures, we might be able to knock them all out today, if not in the next couple streams, which is exciting, because it means that I will be catching most of the normal encounters in this stream and in the near future, and then we can move on to the majority of the shiny encounters, using mostly RNG manipulation, of course, since I do not have 20 years to dedicate to this challenge, although maybe I would be open to that at some point, but not right now. Anyway, why don't we jump right back in? I recently defeated the Elite Four and made it to the Sevi Islands for the post-game quest. I need to complete the Sevi Islands to gain access to Cerulean Cave, which is, of course, where Mewtwo is, and a few other encounters that we need. And right now in this spot, this is at Bond Bridge off the first island. I do need to catch a Tentacruel here. And that is a capture I've been putting off for a little while, mainly because it's a 5% encounter. And I was thinking about it, and I realized that using a repel trick is probably going to be the best way to go about it. So I'm going to go ahead and withdraw a Pokemon that is level 34-ish, 34, 35. So I can hopefully narrow that encounter down a little bit. And that Venonat seems perfect. What am I doing here? You go there, you go there. Okay. Hey, Bigness. How you doing? But I'm definitely excited to go ahead and finish out most of the progression-oriented things for this game. Opening everything up so that we can do the majority of the captures. There are, of course, version exclusives. Oh, that's annoying. That's right, I'm here. Okay, I'm gonna switch you out for a second. Of course. You know, if I switch you out, you might level up. So I actually want you to faint. Of course, Meowth is not ideal. Let's just mess you up as best we can. I guess it won't level up by killing one Meowth. Oh, very nice. Wow. Good for you, Venonat. I was trying to figure out earlier how to get the Rock Smash HM, because I noticed that there's some Graveler encounters in Cerulean that I need through Rock Smash alone. But then I was like, actually, I got Rock Smash a while ago. I just didn't realize it. It's in that hot spring on this island. And I just haven't taught it to anyone, so I'll probably go ahead and teach that too. Don't know if I'm going to need it for anything else, other than maybe getting some items. Let's just see here. Yep, as long as you can learn it. And go figure, I get an encounter. First rock smashed. Alright, let me get to the water, at least, before I have to deal with more Venonat shenanigans. Venonat shenanigans? Banana-natigans. Alright. Really hoping for a Tentacruel sooner rather than later. Tentacool can still spawn at this level range, but this will hopefully narrow it down to the point where I'm not waiting forever. It worked pretty well in Victory Road when I was looking for that last Machoke. I'm just having a nice time floating around on the ocean. It's really hypnotic if you just pay attention to it. Use the entire max repel, no encounter. Just goes to show how elusive these guys are. Okay, there we go. Cool, of course. Oh, crap. I am wondering if you kill me, does the repel trick still work? This Venonat is a beast. I'm very impressed with it. Alright, hopefully, let's see if the repel trick still works, because if it does, that would be ideal. Wouldn't have to deal with all this BS of not being able to escape. And I'll put Venusaur there, too. Seems like it is, based on this encounter rate. Am I going to go through all my max repels for one Tentacruel encounter? Just might. Let me go ahead and find you on this Pokédex if I ever see you. Here you are. Alright, different tactic. Surprise. No, also doesn't seem to be working. Honestly, thank goodness I decided to do the repel trick, because otherwise this time would just be spent full of low-level Tentacool encounters. Oh, you know what? Hold on, I have a theory. Maybe the fainted Pokemon doesn't work and it's only using the next one. If it is, then I'll see it here. Maybe not. Maybe encounters are just that rare. This is getting pretty ridiculous, I would say. Okay, finally another encounter. It's only 5%. It looks like the fainted Venonat is still working. So let's put you back in there. I think the encounter rates on surfing water in general are a little bit lower too. That's part of the reason why I think it's a little meandery. But still, like this is pretty wild. Honestly, at this point, it's probably going to be more efficient for me to just catch a high-level Tentacool and level it up, because I think the evolution level's around 35, isn't it? Something to that effect. $32. Oh, the repel wore off. Yeah, I'm surprised it's only a... It's a 5% encounter, but it's so elusive. Oh yeah, the evolution level's 30. So, okay, yeah, there's no point in going through all this hullabaloo again. I will catch one of these guys. Just level it up. Definitely no point. Alright, you're counting towards Tentacruel. I'm sick and tired looking for that guy. Alright. Actually, let's give Venusaur some love here. You need some levels. Thank goodness I can one-shot a level 35 Rattata. I was actually kind of worried I wouldn't be able to. And also that one, good. You know, I don't know why I doubt Venusaur so much. It's really proven itself. It came in clutch in the Elite Four and everything. I'm being too harsh. Well, of course, you're going to miss, though. I'm going to miss again, I'm sure, after that. No? Okay, see. I guess I'm a hater. I'm a hater for no reason. Venusaur just wants to be loved. And I deny it. It's interesting that they don't have any double battles in the story in this game, when they could have easily added them in. This is post Ruby and Sapphire. That was kind of a big addition. Also, you missed Razor Leaf again? It's 95. I guess it's the same accuracy as Tackle, and we've seen how many times I've missed Tackle over the course of these runs. That's for damn sure. Alright. Not super complicated, but I don't want to mess that one up. Slugma! We don't want you. We don't need you. You are Johto. Get out of here. The ancient ruins. I don't know any of the lore about this place. I'm sure it's very interesting. But I'm gonna have to pass, because I got stuff to do. Pokemon to catch. I'm really glad. That makes me happy to hear. I will definitely accept whimsical as a characteristic of my stuff. Okay, we are done with this god-forsaken island. Not all the islands, just this one in particular. Part of my disdain for Mount Ember is probably my experience with the Moltres capture. That's definitely part of it. All right. Yeah, we're in good shape. I think our next stop is Boar Island. Wait. Oh, I have to give him the ruby, of course. Of course. A little out of sync. Yeah, sorry, Nightbot does not like certain things. I'm really glad to hear that. Yes, Nightbot is very temperamental. I've been putting off tweaking some things with it, because it definitely doesn't like all caps messages. That's for sure. So no enthusiasm in the chat. No one can be excited about anything. This is a completely serious matter. I will not accept any form of excitement whatsoever. Oh, I was really vibing to that music. Can we just take a second? That's good stuff. Where do I get... Do I need waterfall? I don't think I have it. Is that a requirement? I guess we'll see. Right, exactly. It's completely in line with topics I cover. Only serious things. Am I stupid? I am stupid. Already messed that up. For an Ultra Ball I don't even need. Yeah, more like the 8-bit vibe, or even just the way the audio sounds on the Game Boys and the Game Boy Advances. Probably not going to come up again unless you're listening to something that's intentionally mimicking that style. Which a lot of people do. A lot of people do 8-bit music and stuff. Damn. Delibird. I also don't want you. But I appreciate. Definitely appreciate Delibird. Oh, great. Am I gonna pick the wrong one again? Seems like I... Oh, yeah, 100%. Wait, no, this is where I want to go, right? Yeah, I mean, never say never. I think that there have been a lot of ideas floating around with... Yep, I figured we'd get Waterfall in here. There have been a lot of ideas floating around in terms of how games can be made in the future that kind of emulate that more pixelated style while still looking a little bit more modern. What's that Zelda game that they did that made it all chibi. Not like the BDSP style, but like, you know, a little bit more polished and pixelated. I think there's potential there. And if they ever go for that aesthetic, they would be within their right to go back to some of those pixelated themes. I think that would be really cool. I think it's like Link's Awakening or something. But that game looks really pretty. And even though it's more simplified, and I think the more that you kind of have that downgraded look, or that, not, again, I don't want to say chibi because it's not quite chibi, but it's just a little bit more, I don't know how you would describe it. But anyway, the point being, I think my dream game for Nintendo to make, other than just like a modern, super big open world 3D Pokemon game, would be something like that, where it would be more like pixelated, but like added graphical effects, not quite traditional pixelated. I think I saw one concept somebody made on Reddit, and it was really beautiful. Fighting for my life against this Zubat. Although you do double resist my only attacking moves. So I guess I can't give you too much grief, Venusaur. More than I already do. And thankfully, there is a 1% Lapras encounter here, but I don't need to go for it because they give you a Lapras in Silphco. So thank goodness I don't have to hunt for a 1% encounter with all the issues we've had with the 5%ers in water. Yeah, this song hits different. Can I fly to this one yet? No, I haven't been there, so of course I can't. Okay, I think I need to go straight to 6 Island. That's the next part of the progression here. Damn. I guess you are one level above me. Sure, yeah. So, if you want just like a quick summary, feel free to type in one of the commands above. The rules will just kind of give you the basics, but it sounds like you're asking for a more in-depth explanation, which you can get from the project spreadsheet. There's a whole tab that has all the rules and stipulations about what that actually means, ultimate, origin form, that kind of thing. All Noah's Ark style. Yeah, you could look at it that way. I'll give you a brief summary though, in my own words. Basically, I'm trying to catch every Pokemon, every form, from the earliest game possible / the earliest game from the home region. So where this kind of comes up, that's maybe not so intuitive, is I'm not catching any Johto Pokemon in Gen 3 because there is no Johto region in Gen 3. The first earliest iteration of Johto is actually in Gen 4, and this is, of course, after the cutoff from Gens 1 and 2. So I'm treating Gen 3 as the earliest games possible, since that's the earliest you can transfer from outside of the virtual consoles. And yeah, so it gets a little dicey here and there, but that's the general idea. Yeah, it's quite the ordeal, and it will take a while, most likely. It'll take a good long while, but I've got time. Truthfully, I don't actually know how much time I have, because really all of this falls apart if the ability to transfer from bank to home is severed. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. No one really knows when that ability to transfer up will be cut off. So I'm just kind of hoping that that doesn't happen. So I'm really prioritizing finishing Gens 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And once I've gone through all of those, I can maybe slow down at that point. Not that I would be slowing down that much, but there is a bit of a rush to finish these early gens for that reason. Yanma. I'm definitely a Yanma enjoyer. Not very practically useful, but hell of a guy right there. Yeah, so Home was released in 2020, if memory serves. I'm pretty sure it was released in 2020. And since its release, they have not given us much information in terms of the life of Bank. The 3DS eShop... Oh, crap. The 3DS eShop was shut down in 23, so 3 years after Home came out. And when that was shut down, they still said they were going to maintain Bank's functionality, although you couldn't download it anymore, obviously, because you lost the eShop. And since then, we just haven't heard very much at all about what the plan is. Yeah, no Mega, Yon Mega. It seems like a slam dunk. Mega Flygon, too. I mean, it needs it. Flygon definitely needs a Mega. I feel like it would be pretty easy, because I think what was the excuse when they were putting out ORAS that like, oh well, we just couldn't find a satisfying design for Flygon for a Mega. I mean, it wouldn't take much, really. Based on some of these Megas that they made, especially in ZA, where they're just kind of going off the wall a little bit, like you can make a Mega Flygon. It's not that much. Not too much to ask. Dotted hole. Okay, I think it's up first. And left. Right. Down. Damn, I have a good memory. Sometimes. Not gonna gas myself up too much with that. Yeah, I think one of the most satisfying things about playing the older games is the ability to transfer up those Pokemon, because they're so far removed from some of the newer titles, and they kind of have that special quality to them being from the older games. All right, now we go to 5. Oh, wait. Did I just click 6? I think I clicked 5. Yeah. Now we can go to the base. Yeah, especially for like Pokemon like the Ralts line, where you can get a future evolution that wasn't in the original game. Yeah, it is a real shame the way they've treated transfer-only moves now. That used to be one of the kind of features of transferring old Mons up, is getting those exclusive moves. Alright, we can play the long game, buddy, if that's what you want to do. Yeah, there is some legitimacy to that, in that you don't want the competitive scene to be dominated by transfer-only moves. Which they have, you know, in Sword and Shield. I know that they like basically had a function where you could talk to an NPC, delete all their moves, and get the stamp, so that that's not an issue, and so only the moves from that generation are relevant for the competitive scene. So to a degree, I understand like the policing of transfer moves and stuff like that, especially since it is fair to, you know, generation to generation, make some tweaks to some movesets and everything. I definitely don't agree with all of those tweaks, or even most of them, but some of them make sense. And so yeah, it is unfortunate. I feel like I'm really dragging my feet using Venusaur here, but I mean, the guy needs some levels. He's lagging behind a little bit. See, now you're at least level 50. So I can make peace with that. Let's switch you out here. Yeah, having the Pokemon, there's so much more to it than that. Yeah, I think it was a really good system. Even if Game Freak does kind of land on something that works really well, they also have a serious reputation of not being consistent between games, throwing things out that actually do work pretty well for the sake of trying something new. Okay, let's see, I want to take this one. Alright. And I want to go here. Whoops. Don't think I was supposed to take that one. Yeah, I wasn't. Okay, I want to take the left one here. Followed by... I'm going to go up. I want to take the top one. And after that, I want to go back. Wait, where do I go from here? Okay. Blue goes back this way. Go up here. Oh, I see. I wasn't trying to follow a guide. I'd actually probably figure this out faster, but... yeah, whatever. Yeah, good and bad. They're pretty indiscriminate what they throw out and what they kind of stick around. Another Razor Leaf miss. Can't be doing that, Venusaur. Especially when that is the damage you're putting out here. Alright, let's see if you can make it. Not looking good. I mean, Hypno is raising its attack, which I don't know is going to be very helpful for it. Oh no, that's insomnia. Worked out though. And I came out of the red, which is exactly what I needed. In overgrow range, but not the constant blaring of the health bar. With overgrow, I can't do half still. What a shame. This guy might let me kill him, though. Regardless. Yep. It's looking pretty good for me. Oh, come on. Alright, well. Now it's like, what, a 30% chance? No. You did this to yourself, Venusaur. You truly did. Nothing much I can do with that. You were given many opportunities. Love those accuracy strats. Just love that for you. Yeah, I haven't really messed with trading in Pokemon Home itself very much. There's all kinds of interesting modes. Yeah, thinking about the Skype days, very nostalgic overall. It wasn't even that long ago, you know, maybe like a decade. A little bit more than a decade. Skype was the way to do it. Yeah, the Pokemon that are popular throughout the years stay pretty popular. Alright, can I heal my status before this battle, please? I have a full restore, but do I really need that? Let's do a full heal. You'll be fine. I'll save just in case, though. Not super confident in my team. Yeah, there was a point where I was also kind of preoccupied with getting a lot of things in interesting Pokeballs. Especially when there were more options available when Sword and Shield released the Cramomatic, and pretty sure that's in Scarlet and Violet too, but I haven't actually played the DLCs for those games. Yeah, I mean, the Beast Ball, that just has its own reputation. With it being so hard to use outside of catching the Ultra Beasts. So there's a certain, like, clout that comes with that, just being caught in a Beast Ball, and then also the Beast Ball is pretty cool, I will say. The design is pretty badass. Uh-oh. Oh, coming in clutch. Blastoise. That's my guy. Always dependable Blastoise. Unlike some of my starter Pokemon. I have to beat you too, right? Ooh, you're actually dangerous. But I will not heal. I refuse. That's exactly why I'm speaking more openly, because Venusaur cannot hear me right now. You're gonna kill me, aren't you? You absolutely were. Well, okay. I don't need to be too reckless here. There's no shame in using a heal. Just trying to get through this in one piece. One of my favorite Apper Balls is actually the Level Ball. I'm a big fan of the design and the color scheme. It doesn't work with every Pokemon, of course. Are you gonna, like, attack me? Wow, -3 defense. We're still missing a lot. What's Sonic Boom's accuracy? Okay, there you go. You are correct, yes. If it has a form, then its corresponding shiny is included. Just a bit, yeah. By those spawn rates, do you mean those gender ratios? Because I'm pretty sure that's the gender ratio for like the starters and Eevee and stuff. Okay, I have everything I need to put the Sevi Islands behind me. With the exception, of course, of coming back here to breed some Pokemon. Right, yeah, those can definitely be annoying. That's one of the reasons why when I was getting all the shiny starters, I included just getting a normal female Bulbasaur for a female Venusaur as well. Because it's just faster that way than to breed and hope to get a female in an egg. As soon as this dialogue ends, my roaming legendary beast is generated. If I cared about what that was, I could RNG it if I wanted to, but we don't care. We don't need that in our lives. Yeah, we all have our reasons for the Pokemon we go after. Okay, we are coming up on Cerulean Cave, which means we're gonna go after Mewtwo. Let's get 200 balls on deck, why don't we? Well, actually, a little more than that, because we're also catching some stuff in the cave along the way. Let's do 20. 220. And is there anything we can kind of clear out here? We don't need that upgrade. Get some money from you. Don't need you. Oh. Alright, I don't know if I'm really prepared to catch Mewtwo at my current level. I guess we'll see. I can go ahead and get all the encounters from Cerulean, though. Alright, let me pull up an encounter table here. Cerulean Cave. Alright, so I need to catch a Parasect. From this initial floor here. And on the water, I can encounter Golduck, which I will need 2 of. 1 for a trade, 1 for... Actually, no, I just need 1 regular one for the trade. And then I will eventually RNG a shiny one as well. Ditto first encounter, interesting. Oh, crap. Yeah, I'm not even high enough to escape these wild Pokemon. There you are, little buddy. How, what a coincidence, that's what I was gonna do to you. You're really focused on keeping me asleep, aren't you? Venusaur. Can't keep doing this. Learn something new every day, especially with Fire Red and Leaf Green. There are so many things that I've either forgotten or I was completely oblivious to. Because it has been a long time since I played them all the way through. And with the differences between the originals and this version and the Let's Go versions, there's all kinds of discrepancies with the encounter table. Another Pokeball I don't need. You know what? It might actually be useful for me to catch another Magneton at a high level here. Simply because it can paralyze things, and that would be something good to have. It didn't survive, of course, but hopefully I can weaken it to the point where it's not a pain. Yeah, weed out all the weaklings. See which ones can survive and which ones can't. So I'm going to try to snag a Golduck here real quick, because I need it for one of the trades. There you go. Ooh, I'm pretty sure that's like 1 HP. And of course, Venusaur is just going to get wrecked, regardless of what I do. That's just going to be trade fodder, so we're not adding to the counter with that one. I guess I need to be smashing all of the rocks that I can, because there's a chance of finding Graveler, which I need 2 of. If it ends up being a particularly rare spawn, then I can just catch high-level Geodude and level them up. But we'll see. There we go. Will you survive a flamethrower? It's special, but it's resisted. Yeah, perfect. Don't kill me. Yeah, thank you. Barely hanging on for dear life. Thanks for that. The real difference maker. Just chanting it to be so. Problem is, I will not survive another situation, so I'm just going to dip into my healing here. Alright, I need one more of those. Beautiful. Oh, that's a higher level. 54. You could really wreck me. Ooh, you're burned. That's not good. I mean, it definitely spares me some health loss, but let's go ahead and try to catch you here. Nice. Also needs you. Male Kadabra. You will certainly survive an aerial ace, I know that. Wow, I'm actually... Okay, you don't survive an aerial ace. Well, maybe Blastoise would be the only one then to damage you with you surviving. That really shocks me, actually. Oh, there's something in that corner. I just know it. Can you just lay off, Golbat? Oh, there's really nothing? That surprises me. All right. You will definitely live a waterfall. I know that. What? Okay. Well. Whatever. I don't know if I have a way to weaken you then. Like, Waterfall is just a lower powered surf, yeah. And Bite... Does Bite do more? I guess it's double, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it will survive a Razor Leaf, but having Venusaur out in front comes with all kinds of issues. So... hopefully I can switch Venusaur in. Yes, remember, very serious activity we're doing right now. And that's a dead end. It never does. Okay, do I want to test if all the other ones that I've been fighting are just flukes? You know what? I'm gonna lower its accuracy so Venusaur can come in, and then hopefully we can weaken it so that I can catch it without much issue. Congratulations, you have my Blaze ability. That's going to be really helpful for you. I guess this is the only strat. The only way that I can actually do this. Okay. You will survive a Razor Leaf. Yeah, see. But if you die to the Psychic, yeah, well... well, at least I weakened it. Do those moves like roleplay have a chance to miss? Because I'd be very impressed if it was able to land those so many times in a row. With its -4 or -5 accuracy. I think I only went -4. Should have gone -6, obviously. I'm really trying to white out in Cerulean Cave. Yeah, there's quite a lot going on with Pokemon Go with the 10th anniversary event. Not a huge fan of Pokemon Go in general, but sometimes I'll play because there are exclusive things you can get from it. What a situation we are in, is all I have to say. Okay, you gotta throw me a bone or something. What is this catch rate? Sub 50% Kadabra in a Pokeball. I mean, obviously it's bad with everything that's going on. That's right, only struggle. No Marowaks or Cubones in sight. We got one of them. We need 3 more. At least now I have a pretty good idea of what I need to do with Kadabra. Yeah, let's not throw a party yet. We still got 3 more of these guys. Let's go here, or let's go here, because I need to buy some quality of life items, such as revives and heals. I have a feeling I'm going to be going in and out of Cerulean more than a couple times. I don't really need the full restores, just the max potion's fine enough. I do think so. I'm a big fan of Legends Arceus particularly. I haven't played Legends EA, but watched a lot on it. And while it has its limitations, I do like the idea of moving more towards a real-time combat system versus just strictly turn-based. A lot of possibilities. I think they've only just dipped their toe into what that could look like. Alright, do I want to go ahead and try to catch you? Because you're going to be useful later. Show me you're worthy. Survive a flamethrower. They're not. What am I kidding? None of them are going to survive a flamethrower. That's silly. I shouldn't be doing that. I should give them a fighting chance. Alright, have I tried? Which of these have I not tried yet? I probably need to go deeper in. Level 60 Ditto. I mean, it is interesting to think about what a, like, game that's encompasses the entire world of Pokemon would look like. I would probably be down for something like that. Wait, did I just go back? I think I just went back. Yeah, I would definitely be interested in that. One of the limitations there is you would probably not be incentivized from a Game Freak perspective to make something that large, simply because then it's like, okay, well, how do you add in new regions or new areas? And you certainly could. That wouldn't prevent you from doing that, but I think it would make it harder, more work on their end. If I had to predict how they're going to treat the Ore region, I'm going to say they're going to shun it and pretend like it never existed when it comes to incorporating it in future games. Maybe like a brief mention here and there, but I seriously doubt that it's going to be integrated into a larger part. Wobbuffet. Can I escape because I'm a flying type? Nope, I cannot. Don't use mirror move or whatever it is, mirror coat. Don't do it. Ah! Oh, you piece of shit. Okay. There's barely any experience, too. Oh, that's just great. Yeah, it seems like as far as Shadow Pokemon go, that's going to be mostly in Pokemon Go. They've kind of rebranded it for that specifically, and it serves like a real function, whereas in the mainline games, like, yeah, Shadow Pokemon, they do something, but not really, outside of their games of origin. Because they have to be purified before you can transfer them out. These levels are insane. Maybe I need to spend some time just level grinding a little bit. Because I'm definitely too low to deal with Mewtwo comfortably. Did I take the wrong branching path here, I wonder? You are quad weak to fire, so let me just knock you out for some easy EXP. You think they suck? I thought they had some kind of usage for like raids and everything. And in PvP there's some shadows that do better than their normal counterparts. Yeah, that nostalgic connection, Game Freak does not share that. Oh, great. Alright, I'm just gonna smoke screen you once, just to give me a chance of surviving. Maybe like Aerial Ace chip you down a little bit, because I can't one-shot you. And you're gonna throw out the Destiny Bond, too. I'm gonna make sure you're in range. It's gonna hurt. Oh my god. Oh, this Pokemon, man. One of my issues with Mewtwo is it has Recover, right? So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Maybe I need to have a high-level False Swiper that can get it down in one turn. That would probably be the best. Yeah, I agree. It's the way that you obtain shadows. I think it's more accessible now, but most of the time, because they're limited, you can't really guarantee getting ones with good stats. So they're not very useful. Okay. Who increased the Wobbuffet encounter rate? Come on. Alright, good. I think I can finish you with this. This is stupid. I don't like you. I don't like you at all. You know exactly what you're doing. Yeah, they don't add lipstick to Wobbuffet until Gen 4. That's when a lot of the gender variances actually come in. Is Gen 4, not Gen... Oh, which one did I go down? I think this is the one that I want. So even though they don't appear in these games, I'm catching them here, and then when they get migrated up, you'll see the gender variances. It's funny how memory works. Our minds lie to us all the time. Okay, that was a situation. Hopefully I can find Kadabra in this lower section here. Away from the Wobbuffet, please. Please let there not be Wobbuffet down here. I can check real quick. Okay, good. We have Kadabra. It looks like down here... Oh, yeah, there's still Wobbuffet. It's a 1%, though, so... Hopefully, I don't have too many run-ins with it. And I now know, from how things went previously, to use 6 smoke balls on this guy, not just a handful. I really need to make sure Venusaur lives. And one more. All right. All right, Venusaur, prove your worth. I think I can fit in one more. That'll do. Don't know why that Master Ball was selected there. See? It doesn't have to be this complicated. Sometimes we can just catch the Pokemon in the ball. Doesn't need to be having all this hullabaloo. $67. Jeez. Yeah, I figured I wouldn't be able to escape, but I kind of need to. There we go. Another Ultra Ball I don't need. All right, guys. I am nowhere near prepared to actually catch Mewtwo feasibly, especially in a Pokeball. But what if we just kind of YOLO'd it? What if we just kind of tried to do it? Could be interesting, right? Let's see. Let's try. Level 70. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but Practically speaking, I really am in a bad position here, so we will see if it's enough. Oh, it knows Swift. So it does have guaranteed damage down even when the accuracy is low, but Swift does not hit nearly as hard as Psychic. And it will eventually run out of Swift. So that's something I can depend on. I mean, why not just throw a ball? I'm going to, when Charizard faints, I'm gonna probably switch to Venusaur and try to make it go to sleep. Alright, so Venusaur can definitely survive a Swift. Just in time. Oh, and it's got... Damn it. Here when I thought... You hit Psychic anyway, okay. Screw me, I guess. Yeah, this is going to be tricky. So it's going to have... It has Swift. So maybe a Ghost type that can sit here and put it to sleep, like Gengar. That would be really helpful. I'm going to try to get it to red at least once, although it seems like... Does the wild Mewtwo have advanced AI? Because it's making some pretty good decisions for a wild Pokemon. Right, yeah. That's what I was saying, because Swift ignores the accuracy debuffs. Also, with Mewtwo's pressure ability, I'm really going to have a hard time keeping up damage-wise, compensating for recover. At least I get a few jabs in here. I got a shake that time. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to try to, like, see this attempt through here, and then we'll just move on, because no amount of boldness is really going to compensate for this situation right here. I really need to have a squad ready. Okay. I wonder how much PP Recover has. Too many, if I'm remembering. I think it's like 25 or something. Alright, maybe I can get it to low HP here. That's like 1 HP, if I'm seeing that correctly. Alright, well we have a few shots here, but it doesn't have a status. With the recover shenanigans and everything else going on, I do think that paralyzing it over putting it to sleep is going to be the best bet here. I mean, it just makes the most sense. So I don't have to keep adding the status over and over and over again. So if I paralyze it and I get it into health range that I'm happy with and somehow I prevent it from recovering, then maybe just having a ghost type sitting out here, that would be enough to really give me some chances. I have revives. Let me just see if I can draw this out a little bit longer, because it seems to be laying off the recovers, at least for now. Which is always good. Yeah, this Mewtwo's UI is definitely better than most wild Pokemon. Or not UI. Did I say UI? I meant AI. If it sees a kill, maybe it'll just keep doing that. Just gotta make sure I'm healthy. Oh, okay. Alright. Landing Psychic. Lowering my special defense. If only there was a Pokeball that had a 100% catch rate that I didn't have to mess with. If only such a thing existed. Alright, we're just kind of throwing the rest of these until it recovers back up to green. I'm just going to chuck some balls. Hope for the best, but yeah, not looking good. Below half health, no status. This is probably like... Oh my god. Okay, that was... Okay, three shake fake. That is something. Okay, well, obviously that did not go well, and that's fine. Because unless you were delusional, you did not expect that to go well anyway. So what I will do now is I need to catch 2 more female Kadabra. I need to... Anything else I need to do in here? Oh, I do need to actually fish up some Poliwhirl, because I don't have that. And I need multiple for the trade. So I can catch 2 female Kadabra, 2 Poliwhirl. Do I have Poliwag yet? I think I've... Yeah, I haven't caught Poliwag yet. That's also here at a higher level. Of course, you are all male Kadabras so far. There we go. Future Sight is such a confusing move to me. Because sometimes it'll fail, sometimes it won't. And I have no idea what actually causes that. Oh. Went a little bit overboard there. Well, thank you, Squiddy. I appreciate it. Are you hunting Shiny Krabby in Fire Red and Leaf Green? Oh, do I want to use another one? Probably, right? Just don't crit, Venusaur. Don't be a screw-up. Good. Good boy. Okay, just one more. One more Kadabra. I'm sure your spirits are very, very high after getting a 1 in 8,000 shiny. Mine certainly would be. So it's good that you're open to phasing then. Just to evolve your Mankey. Or to evolve your Primeape. That's right, Annihilape is the Scarlet and Violet evolution. Nope. Yeah, oh no. Don't do it. I'm a jolly Charizard. Surely I can at least have enough speed to escape battle. That's not too much to ask, right? Alright, that's a pretty high-level Magneton. So you might be the perfect candidate for our Mewtwo capture. Sounds about right. Par for the course on those odds. Alright, I think you are low enough in health. And since you are not part of the living dex, let's use this Ultra Ball. Why don't we? This game's so easy when you can use Pokeballs. They're better than a regular Pokeball. Fantastic. Okay. We're getting on our way here. May not look like it, but we are moving right along. Oh yeah, you're just now realizing that's a factor here. Yeah, I wasn't just throwing the Pokeballs at Mewtwo for efficiency because I'm cheap. Oh, crap. Not you again. This is a 1% encounter, by the way. I don't think it's 1% up top, but that is frustrating that I have to deal with you. Come on. Surely you can't predict my move every time. There you go. Was it not on the rules card? I thought I included it in there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know kids were bragging about catching Mewtwo, even without a Master Ball in general, but especially a Pokeball is the ultimate flex. No, you're good. There's a lot that goes into it. I'm not pretending that this is an intuitive or a practical endeavor whatsoever. Yeah, very strange. Yeah, I left it at home. Forgot to bring it today. Oh, I actually decided to delete my save file and start a new game. You know, that kind of BS. Oh my lord. Please no. Absolutely, that's all that matters, is that I'm having so much fun doing this. Every step of the way is just the best time. I mean, truly, I do enjoy this for the most part. I know it seems very tedious at times, but this is really fun for me. I'm definitely a collector at heart. Collecting things, even if it's difficult, sometimes that adds to the enjoyment too, like all the hurdles you have to go over. Also, the Kadabras just stopped appearing. They're a 25% encounter. Oh, you're trying to get an inside scoop into the next project? Well, I'll tell you this. I am actively working on the next video. It is not related to the live stream or anything. It's totally separate. And it involves Sword and Shield Dynamax crystals. If you know anything about those. Yeah, seriously, we are in a serious Kadabra drought right now. Nightbot's throwing the hammer down. In all seriousness, though, like, where are the Kadabras? Okay, there you go. Not a female, though. Yes, you will definitely get some pretty in-depth information on the den mechanics in Sword and Shield, as well as specifically what's going on with the Dynamax crystals and that special den. How many times do I have to tell you? No emotion in chat. I repeat. No emotion. You know, this Kadabra is 10 levels above me. Do you think it'll survive an aerial ace? Or a slash? Surely it'll survive, right? Let's go for it. Let's try it. Come on, you can survive a slash. See, there you go. We're fine. She is a strong, independent woman. That's right. Yeah, I got really into Sword and Shield when it came out. I was really excited about it kind of being the first mainline game for the Switch. So I played a lot of it. And especially for like, you know, like special raid events that you could get the promotional dens. I was all over those. I was making sure I was catching everything and shiny hunting and doing RNG manips for the dens and everything like that. So that was a fun part of it for me. Yeah, very glad that we have Kadabra out of the way now. I think you can catch Poliwhirl and Poly... wait, it's Poliwhirl and Poliwag. I think you can catch those here. So that's what we're going to try to get. Is it actually International Women's Day today? Oh, really? Yeah, those manips are pretty fun, actually. I've done a handful of them. Okay, I need to double check if this is somewhere I can fish for these. Maybe it's only on the top floor. Alright, fishing encounters. Old rod, new rod, super rod. Yeah, it says there's Poliwhirl and Poliwrath down here. Let me, seems like we're going to be fishing for a little bit here. Oh, here we go. And, of course, that's a 5% Psyduck. Naturally, that's the one that we reel in. Don't get me wrong, Sword and Shield had a lot of shortcomings. I think that I was willing to overlook a lot of that. Because, again, it was the mainline game for the Switch. And there are aspects of it that I do like aesthetically, which is kind of funny because the big complaints at the time were that, oh, well, the trees are unfinished and like there's all these things, which I totally agree with. But I also think that there were certain parts of like the user interface and the sprites that I actually really did think turned out well. Okay, cool. Well, first of all, happy International Women's Day, everyone. Especially to the women in the audience. All right, for you, I need to catch 2 Poliwhirl, 1 for the trade, 1 for the Dex, and then I need to catch 1 Poliwag at the same rate, 40%. Yeah, I didn't play much of Gen 5 in its heyday, but I did hear about how brutal it was to level grind, especially to get them all the way up to 100. That is, I've heard horror stories about that. I should probably have Venusaur in front, shouldn't I? I mean, I see where you're coming from with some of those designs. Graplocked, I wouldn't say Graplocked is unfinished. I would say that it's more generic. The idea is cool, though, like a fighting octopus. I think that's somewhat innovative. But the concept as a whole, I think, is a little bit boring. But then again, you know, like, they're making so many hundreds of new Pokemon, like, they can't all be winners. Yeah, my brother was actually super into Black and White and Black and White 2, and he kept telling me, you know, hey, like, these are good games, you should give them a shot. But at that time, I was kind of moving away from Pokemon for a little bit. I was too cool for it, you know. And yeah, now going back and checking them out, I'm like, he was 100% right. These are really good games. Yeah, there's definitely ways to get around some of the level issues. That's just one of the things, as someone who's not super familiar with Gen 5, that's one of the things I've heard from other people, is how long it takes to level grind and get to that 100 and where you need to be. Also, still haven't switched to Venusaur. Let's go ahead and do that. Squiddy, do you have any connection to Japan, or you just kind of were following it since that's where it came out first? You're definitely not wrong about Gens 3 to 5. Yeah, just because I fell off around from 5 to 7, I didn't play very much. So I don't have a connection to those games. So I don't give them that much love. But hey, who knows? I will have to play through them all through this little project, so maybe I will gain an appreciation. But I doubt it'll be more than my nostalgic connection to these older games that I've played for many years. Yeah. No shame in being a Poke nerd. Definitely. Alright, this is not for the Dex, so I will not be adding to the counter. I just need to catch you for the trade later. Okay, this is certainly a long stretch of sleep here. I think that was the max turns, or pretty close to it. And I don't have anything other than my Master Ball, so I guess I'll just use Pokeballs here. Very cool. Again, not adding to the counter, because I'm just using that for a trade. So, we are now done with Cerulean Cave, with the exception, of course, Mewtwo. Mewtwo we are not done with. And we probably, at this rate, will save Mewtwo for a later date. Having Magneton will probably really help things, especially since we're going to move towards the paralysis angle. And Magneton, if I drop the accuracy, Magneton resists those Swifts really well. Oh, is that right? I didn't even know that was the inspiration for the whirl. It's their intestines. It's kind of metal. I am aware of there's species of translucent frog that you can see kind of like their guts through their belly. So I'm sure that's part of the inspiration. Do I have an escape rope? That would probably be... This would be the time to use that, I think. Can I escape? No, there is no escape. You are trapped. For always and eternity. Just don't be Wobbuffet. Thank you. Thank you for not being Wobbuffet. Thank you again for not being Wobbuffet. Sure, yeah, like it's meant to invoke that hypnosis spiral. Even though they're not psychic type, you'd think that would be kind of more associated with something like that, but... Yeah, in a video, I don't know if I've gone into it. Entei's definitely up there. It is one of, if not my favorite. And there are several that I have, like, little attachments to as well. Since the Hoenn games were my first full Pokemon experience, I do have a big fondness for all the Hoenn starters, but especially Sceptile, because that was Trico was the first one I ever picked. Even though I think, objectively speaking, Sceptile is probably the weakest design-wise. Some people don't like Blaziken, so I'll give them that. But I actually do like the way Blaziken came together. Yeah, that's probably part of it. I definitely saw the third movie when I was younger. So I was pretty familiar with Entei already. Alright, here's the plan. I need to catch an Abra, and once I do, I will have all the trade fodder to get all the in-game trades, The trade Pokemon themselves will not count towards the challenge because they have different OTs. Oh wait, did I just... No, I meant to you. So let me go ahead and catch an Abra real quick. Yep, that's it. And I do need to use the restroom for a second, so bear with me, and we'll catch an Abra and we'll move right along. Yep, Marcel's definitely on there. Or Myman. I don't remember the original nicknames or anything. I wonder if there's a higher encounter rate for Abra. Let me look real quick. It says route 24 and 25. What am I on right now? Oh, 20, yeah, 25 as well. I think it might be a little bit more plentiful here. Let me see. Oh, thank goodness I battled you already. So it's 15% on 24. $25 is 15%. Okay, same rate. Oh, I see what you're getting at, yeah. Go, Steve, the Venusaur. George. Oh, I do also... I need to catch another Spearow, don't I? Or Kenya. Or not... Kenya's the Spearow in Gen 2. I'm thinking of Chiding. Farfetch'd. So there's 4 trades. 4 trades I need to do, yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, I normally wouldn't keep up with that kind of thing, but I think that a long time ago I was watching a video on the hunts you can do in Gen 2, and somebody had pointed out that the gift Spearow that you can get can be shiny, and that you can give it back to the person as a shiny, and that it's like a total waste. Okay, I think I should put you to sleep, right? Unless you miss. Okay, it doesn't matter what this has caught it, so let me, real quick, let me buy some better Pokeballs just for this. That'll be more reliable than Venusaur, because we know how reliable you are. You can't buy Ultra Balls here? Does Arena Trap prevent teleport? I thought that teleport would circumvent that. It does, like Arena Trap works, or it doesn't work? Okay, cool. I will grab one of my Digletts then, or my Doug Trio. How abouts? Thank you for that tip. With my Ultra Balls, though, I do think I have a pretty solid chance of catching it. First go. Do you have Arena Trap? Sand Veil. That's not going to do me any good. Wow. They both have Sand Veil. Never mind. Just not worth it. I'm just going to chuck Ultra Balls. What is that, like a 50% chance to have either ability? What are you gonna do? Moment of truth. Much as I want to use the Master Ball, I will be... Oh my god. Screw me, I guess. Anyway, what I was going to say is, clearly I won't use the Master Ball to catch anything for the challenge, but my plan right now is to when I start the leaf green file, I will need an easy way to capture the legendaries and confirm what their stats are so that I can RNG them to be shiny. And that's where the Master Ball comes in. So I will be trading this Master Ball over there so I can have it early and go ahead and do the legendaries. So long story short, I want to save that for later. It truly is a little treat, isn't it? I can't remember how the first Abra catch went, but I'm pretty sure I caught it first try. Sure, and securing shinies in a slightly different way than how most people would consider that. Because if I can't catch a shiny legendary in a Pokeball, I'm resetting. I'm going to have to do the RNG again. Please. Oh my god. Who knew this would be the crux of the day? Yeah, these Abras, you know, they deserve to be traded into Oblivion. Into a NPC that's never going to use them or do anything with them. Like they never exist. That's what they deserve. Just gonna say it. Sure, yeah. Catching a Wobbuffet would be great. Do I want to go ahead and catch a whole nother Pokemon just for this? I do not want to do that. But let's see if my last Ultra Ball works. Come on! Oh, thank God. Thank God. Okay. You know what? I am just now realizing that I could have bought an Abra from the game corner. What are you going to do? This entire project is suboptimal. Isn't it? I will need money for the game quarter later, though, so I guess it's not the worst idea to try to conserve some of that. Okay. Let me first figure out what's what here. You're trade fodder. So are you. So are you. And who's the third one or the fourth one? I need a Spearow, that's right. Here, it's all for content. Yeah, I'm definitely intentionally playing suboptimally for content. That's actually my plan all along. How did you know? And then you are going to go... I'm going to tuck you away over here for now. I think that covers all the non-dex related captures over here. Yeah, let's just leave y'all here for a second. I'm going to go catch another Spearow. Wait, are there Spearow encounters on this route? Over here? Surely there are, right? Surely. Best decks in terms of design, huh? I think that I definitely have bias towards Gen 3 and 4, because I played those the most when I was in, like, my prime with Pokemon. I would probably say Gen 4 has the strongest... I go back and forth. Gen 3 or 4. I'm not going to commit. Gen 3 has some really fun designs. Gen 4, I think, is close, but it's not the same. There's a different energy with Gen 4 compared to Gen 3. I don't know, maybe it's the transition to the DS that changes the aesthetic a little bit. Okay. Let me just dump everybody, except my flyer. You know what? I probably need Raticate or Cut. So I'm going to keep you two. Alright, this is the ultimate dream team right here. No shiny starter trio. Just these guys. Yeah, Sun and Moon, I do like a lot of the Alolan forms of the older Pokemon. Oh, what am I doing? I can already trade Poliwhirl here. Is it this house or the one in the corner? Yep, it's this one. I think Gen 6 has some really strong individual designs. But as a whole, I wouldn't say the generation is a top for me. Like, Aegislash, really cool concept, really cool execution. Dragalge, I love Dragalge. I think it's so cool. Yeah, there are some ones that really stand out to me, and then there are some, like, really mid ones that kind of bring the Pokédex down when you're ranking them collectively. You've got mail. Okay, I will do this one next, right? Let's do this one. Mimon. Mimon. Yes, of course. The Aurorus and Tyrantrum, both of them knock it out of the park for me. And it's pretty easy to do that when you're inspired by a dinosaur. Hard to fail that one. You think Clef Key is misunderstood? I feel like it's a pretty straightforward concept. What do you mean by that? This one? Nope, not you. Shading. Where is Licky Tongue? I made a note of where I can trade for it. There you are. Route 18. That's a fair point about the different kinds of ancient inspirations, you know, like most of them are not flat out dinosaurs or in different time periods. Also, yes, I did love the theming with the mismatched fossils in Galar. Some of them I like, you know, Arctizol, no, not, which one is the one where it's the little yellow guy on top of the ice body? That's, I think, my favorite one, because it's very ridiculous and, but also kind of cool looking. That's my first pick. I mean, yeah, you can definitely go overboard with the dinosaur callbacks. That's definitely true. Yeah, all of us with that little perfectionism streak want to make the accurate dinosaurs, but we cannot. Or the accurate fossils. Arctizol, thank you. Okay, I did not know the gremlin lore behind Klefki. That is interesting. Okay, so all those Pokemon that I just received, they're not counting towards the total yet, because they're all nicknamed, and they all have unique OTs, which, if you're following the rules of the challenge, that goes against the rules. I want all the members of the Living Dex to have my OT and to not be nicknamed. So, because the only way to obtain these Pokemon is to do the trades, I will eventually breed with them with a Ditto and get versions with my OT, with no nicknames, and that'll fix all of that. Oh, I have to remove the Fab Mail. Okay, I'm probably not going to be on for too much longer today, but maybe I can knock out a couple more encounters here. If I use a good rod off Cinnabar Island, I can catch a Krabby. So let's go ahead and do that. I understand what it's like to crave the raptors. Yeah, maybe a poor choice of words there. So, Philos, I am not going to catch anything from Johto in Gen 3. The way that the project is going to work is I'm treating Gen 3 as the earliest period with which you can catch Pokemon, and I'm also prioritizing getting Pokemon from their home region over the technical earliest game possible. So, with those criteria, I'm actually going to catch the Beasts and Ho-Oh and Lugia in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, not in these games. I will need to recreate some old events for Gen 3 specific Pokemon, and for that I do have the ability to inject Wonder Cards. So that's going to be the approach there. Agreed. Oh yeah, you know, there's just so many dinosaurs. It goes on and on. Never ending. Fat crocodilian Spinosaurus. Hell yeah. All right. Who else can I fit in here towards the end? Let's go back up to the top. I've made sure to include all the optimal locations for some of these. Route 3. Okay, first order of business is I do need to catch 2 Doduo for the 2 versions of Dodrio. I do need that. Yeah, good luck, Josh. It's going to be quite the journey. But you got it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I cannot catch wild Dodrio in this game, at least not in a Pokeball, so I need to catch 2 Doduo and evolve them at some point. $14K, dang. Almost double odds. Hey, first try. First turn wake up, interesting. Oh, I guess it probably has early bird, doesn't it? Otherwise it wouldn't... yeah. Very nice. All right, who else? Oh, I forgot when I was on Cinnabar, I can also catch 2 Shelder. Let's go back there real quick. If I use a super rod, I can find Shelter. Nope. Can't use that right now. Would you include Dodrio in that? Because I do kind of like Dodrio. That'll be my final answer then. Oh, well, I guess that's true. Because I don't think I would say Hydreigon. Hydreigon is in that same category. All right, gang. I think I'm going to call it for today. I appreciate everybody stopping by. This was pretty productive, and hopefully y'all enjoyed going through this little process here. I am fairly certain I've caught most everything I need to catch outside of what I need to breed. I do need to do the Safari Zone. That is a whole tangent that's coming up. So I need the Safari Zone. I need to fish up a couple more things. Then I need to breed everything. And then I think I'll be done with everything I can catch in this game specifically for the normal forms. I will also include RNGing the shiny versions of the Fire Red exclusives as well. That will also be part of it before I move on to Leaf Green. So a lot more exciting things to come. And what's also exciting is next week I will have a lot of extra time to stream, more than I usually do. So what I'm shooting for right now is I will probably do a semi-long stream in the evening of this coming Tuesday. It won't be as late as I normally do. It won't be around 8. It'll be a little bit earlier. So I'll do that, and that'll be posted soon, the time for that. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I will also be doing pretty lengthy streams in the afternoon around the time that today started. So that's the plan. Feel free to come by if you can. And let's go ahead and knock out Fire Red. I feel like, you know, after getting past the starters, it was a real slog. But I'm feeling the momentum, you know, I'm feeling like it's picking up a little bit. And I'm excited, especially because the sooner we get to Leaf Green, the sooner we can finally get to Hoenn. My all-time favorite generation, I think, or my all-time favorite games. Mainly because of the nostalgia. So, anyway, y'all have a good rest of your weekend, and hopefully I'll see you pretty soon.